the energy prices continue to go up and the supply is very limited. As we all know, the whole world runs on gasoline, and without gasoline, people are not going to be able to do their businesses. They're not going to be able to provide electricity for the people. So, what do you think about all this fallout from the ongoing war in Iran?
It's unfortunate that what is happening, and then it also exposes a lot of countries about their readiness for for days like this. A lot of countries have already started struggling. In Nigeria, the gas have risen from almost $900, 900 naira a liter to almost 1,300. In fact, a lot of people are reporting that they are buying almost 1,500 naira per liter. But then again, I can understand that, the dynamics of that a little bit because Nigeria, just like every other thing in Nigeria, they've decided to put their energy need in the hand of one person, which is Dangote.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Y and E podcast. Thank you for joining us. And if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, like, share, and engage with us in the comment section. So we're talking about the fallout of the ongoing war in Iran, and this is being led by the U.S. and Israel. And they've been going after Iran for the third or fourth week now, and Iran is fighting back with everything they have in their power, and they're using their leverage. One of that is to make sure that they close the Strait of Hormuz, and every part of the world is feeling the heat. And it looks like it's about 20% of the world's um, gasoline typically pass through the Strait of Hormuz. And a lot of countries have been struggling. Even before the war, we've heard Cuba, they've been struggling with getting gasoline into their filling stations. And some of that is due to the restrictions the U.S. government placed on Cuba. And we've seen some other countries too where they've been rationalizing energy because the energy prices continue to go up and the supply is very limited. As we all know, the whole world runs on gasoline, and without gasoline, people are not going to be able to do their businesses. They're not going to be able to provide electricity for the people. So, what do you think about all this fallout from the ongoing war in Iran?
It's unfortunate that what is happening, and then it also exposes a lot of countries about their readiness for for days like this. A lot of countries have already started struggling. In Nigeria, the gas have risen from almost $900, 900 naira a liter to almost 1,300. In fact, a lot of people are reporting that they are buying almost 1,500 naira per liter. But then again, I can understand that, the dynamics of that a little bit because Nigeria, just like every other thing in Nigeria, they've decided to put their energy need in the hand of one person, which is Dangote. He basically stopped them from issuing importation licenses to other marketers with the argument that he can meet up with the energy need of Nigeria. So currently, it looks like he's gotten a monopoly of the market, so he can fix his price arbitrarily and then nothing will happen. And is a problem. Even in the US, prices are rising depending on your zip code or where you live. A lot of people have actually been seeing, I've seen almost a $6 plus a gallon. I think so far I've seen a 4.19. And before the conflict, I bought gas before the conflict around the I think it was 239 or 249, and I think it have risen significantly, almost doubling what it was in the last what it was 3 weeks ago. A lot of countries are rationing gas. In fact, I think they say some countries, depending on if your registration is even or odd number, that depends on how, which day of the week or which day you get a gas. It's unfortunate that a lot of countries don't have a strategic reserve to last them at least for 3 months in case of disruption like this. And I hope the countries involved are learning a very valuable lesson and a very hard lesson that they need to go back to the drawing board and have a strategic reserve apart from the one that IEA has. I think each country should have a strategic reserve that can at least last them for 3 months in case of disruption like this. Because this is, even if they settle this conflict, this is definitely not going to be the last time we will experience it. Down the road, it could be, another 5 years, maybe another 20 years, maybe 50 years, maybe 100 years. We'll probably be back to this point. So I just hope that the countries, other countries are learning to what they're supposed to do to open a reserve and make sure they buy in excess to, to store for days like this. I think it's better for them to prepare and for nothing to happen than not to be prepared and then they're caught off guard.
I agree. I mean, it's sad that this is happening, and hopefully, all the three countries can come together and find a solution to this issue. Everyone is going to feel the impact, whether you're rich or poor. The rich, wealthy ones might not feel the impact right away. Bet you the poor people, right? The middle income people, they're gonna feel the impact. The low income people are gonna feel the impact. Wherever you are in the world, you're gonna feel the impact. This is an unnecessary war that should never have happened. But we're here already, and then we need to find a way forward. It's unfortunate with the situation in Nigeria. I don't understand why the government can't work together with Dangote. I know, his refinery is the only refinery working as of today. All Nigeria-owned refineries are not operational. They've invested billions and trillions of dollars into those refineries, and here we are in 2026. Those refineries are still not able to produce what the Nigerian people can consume. And here we are, we have Dangote, even though you may want to argue with his style of business or his monopolistic nature, is there to serve the people. He's there to serve and provide services that are needed. And it's unfortunate that there's also news out there that says the Nigerian government, they're not able to give him the crude needed to refine so he can sell, whether to the people outside the country or to Nigerians. So if the government is able to get in some crude oil, maybe his refineries can continue to produce what the Nigerian people would need before they export refined product out to other countries. But it looks like there's a lot of politicking going on. There's a lot of politics that is in this process. And when Dangote was in the process of building a refinery, everybody was happy that Nigerian people would be proud of this. Nigerian people will benefit from this. And it looks like it's not even making any difference. All right. I mean, it's a business. It's not a charity, and he's into business to make money. So the refinery will have to be making money before he decides, or maybe when he pays off all of his loan, maybe that's when he decides to start doing some charity. But so right now, I mean, if you have a business like that, you want to continue turning profit before you think about turning your business into charity, especially when the government is not helping and trying to make things easy for the people. It's unfortunate that the people that are already in poverty will be pushed further and further into poverty, and the people that are still a little bit above the poverty line will also be pushed into poverty, because without petroleum products in Nigeria, people are not going to be able to survive the business environment. Seeing businesses can't even afford to fuel their generators because of the ongoing internal issues in Nigeria. But with the war adding to it, it's just going to become super unbearable for the people. And hopefully the government can quickly do something, maybe partner with Dangote to, for exclusive refined product so that Nigerian people can stop to feel the heat.
In fact, a lot of countries are actually subsidizing fuel. Some are rationing it, some are subsidizing it, some are putting a price cap. But I think it would be too much for us to ask the Nigerian government to do all of that stuff. They don't really care about the people. So long the people in power, they can afford those basic amenities. I think they don't really care about the people. And I think one of the reasons why Nigeria cannot really give a Dangote crude to refine is because, to be very frank with you, Nigeria have sold a lot of their crude, even the ones that they haven't, that is still on the ground. They have sold it and used it to borrow money. They have borrowed money against those crude. So as they're drilling, they supplying and paying off their debt. So because of that, they cannot really supply Dangote. And even Dangote is a private business. I'm not exactly sure why a lot of Nigerians are being emotional with that business. It's a private business, though it's very big. In America, they say a lot of businesses are too big to fail, like companies like Walmart, companies like Chase Bank, they are too big to fail. Maybe maybe Dangote, as far as within the context of Nigeria, I think Dangote will be too big to fail. But then let us not also forget that it's still a private business at the end of the day. We shouldn't be too emotional. And this is why when the issue of licenses arise, at that time, I kicked against it when a lot of people were actually going against Farouk, and then eventually they fired him, and then they replaced him with somebody that answers yes to them. The guy was actually for, standing up to Dangote, and they're telling Dangote that he cannot single-handedly handle the energy need of Nigeria. There is a reason to diversify the energy supply of Nigeria, if not for anything, for situations like this today. But today, Dangote, have a hold of the market. He can wake up tomorrow and say he's selling a liter 3,000. And then Nigerian government will not bat an eye because there is no alternative. It's a very bad place we find ourselves, and Dangote have found a way to monopolize the market. I don't blame him. He's out there to make money for his board and for his investors. But then again, to what end? I think Nigerian, they need to step back and rethink that decision. They need to give out as many licenses as possible to build refineries, and then for people to continue to import fuel into the country, and then let the forces of the market, determine who has a good fuel and who has a bad one, who has a good price and who has a bad price, and then let the forces of the market determine that. Let us know what you think. How much are you buying gas in your area? Let us know what you think about the whole situation in the Middle East, and then how it's affecting you, both in terms of gas, grocery prices, fertilizer, and everything else. And we'll be happy to engage with you in the comment section.